Hi guys, Florin here, and today I'm going to show you what foods you have to eat to get lean and shredded and look good naked. Before I get into it, while you continue to watch this video, please don't expect some magical food list or superfoods that can burn your abdominal or face fat or your love handles. There's no such thing as pod reducing body fat, so please get that out of your mind. I know there are a lot of people that are promoting like superfoods or lists of foods that supposedly burn body fat or burn fat from specific areas of your body, but there's no such thing. Firstly, in order to see your abs, you have to reduce your body fat by cutting down your calories and staying into a caloric deficit until you start to see your abs, because you already have them but they are just covered with a layer of fat. As a side note, the glute, the hip and the lower abdominal area is the latest area from which the fat comes off. So don't expect to get those areas lean until you strip the fat from the rest of your body. So before I get into the list of foods you should eat or from which you can build your diet for optimal fat loss, I want to say that a good fat loss diet has the following characteristics: sufficient protein to support recovery, a good balance between carbs and fats, it fits your lifestyle and it fits your activity levels, and it's based on whole foods. So there's a difference between different foods that form your diet. But for the best result when it comes to fat loss, I suggest a diet that supports satiety, general health and your fitness goals. When it comes to the food you're eating, a diet that is based on whole foods, on lean protein like chicken, turkey, beef, lean cuts of pork, and foods that are as least processed as possible, with quality sources of fats like fish, avocados, olives, nuts and seeds, maybe oils like coconut oil, olive oil. Simplifying the carb sources, I recommend a variety of fruits, of whole grains, of root vegetables like potatoes, sweet potatoes, oats, rice, and different beans. So you might be wondering, what are the best sources of protein, carbs and fats from all the foods I listed? The answer is simple. Pick the ones that you enjoy adding to your diet. Use your personal preference and just ask yourself this question: what foods do I like to eat? So the foods you eat can make your diet flexible or rigid. A restricted type of dieting can be any type of diet that forces you to restrict a certain macronutrient, like cutting down carbs or cutting down fats or limiting certain foods just for the sake of losing fat. So this type of scarcity when it comes to food choices is usually what's making you crave for certain foods, because restricting a certain food or a certain macronutrient can make its values in your eyes go up. So let's say you haven't eaten a pizza in like 6 months. Do you agree that the value of a slice of pizza goes up when you look at it compared to, I don't know, chicken breast with rice? Let's say you're eating chicken breast and rice almost every day. Yeah, so you're valuing that pizza more than the chicken breast. So that can also lead to binge eating on pizza. It's just an example. So staying too rigid when it comes to dieting is bad, but also having too much flexibility when it comes to eating can also be a bad thing. Having too much flexibility means that you allow yourself to eat any type of food you want, practically everything you want. And some people just believe that by hitting a certain caloric intake and eating everything they want, they can fix all their problems with their diet and they can stay flexible and lose fat and stuff like that. But the problem with too much flexibility is that it can easily get out of control. Well, first off, eating processed foods, fast food, pizzas, for example, or any type of food that doesn't have a label should already give you a hard time approximating the caloric content and the macronutrient content of it. So if you're trying to cut your last bits of fat, it will be harder and harder to not be able to manage what you eat. Secondly, as you probably know, allowing yourself to eat anything you want without really being able to approximate or calculate on a somewhat precise level can make you sleep off big time and can also lead to binge eating. So that type of behavior can ruin a few days of your dieting. So what can you do to avoid too much flexibility or too much rigidity? So for example, in my case, my diet is about 80% formed from whole foods and quality protein, carbs and fat sources that I just listed. And I allow myself the occasional cheat day or a cheat meal when I go out with my friends. And what I do diet-wise, it's nothing too complicated when it comes to recipes. So what I currently do dieting-wise is have some simple recipes that I use over and over again each and every day to just simplify my diet. The main point I want to make is that you have to find your balance between rigidity and flexibility. So when you're planning, don't spend your time overthinking about food, and definitely eat to live, don't live to eat. But if you are hitting your macros, your caloric intake, your protein intake, and you hit the gym a few times a week, you should be fine for a while. So I'm curious, what type of dieter are you? You are carefully calculating your calories, your macros, you're hitting a certain protein intake? Or do you approximate and you like to be on the more flexible side of things? Or are you in between? Just write your answer in the comment section below. So if this video helped you and it gave you some ideas, just hit it a thumbs up, click subscribe to be notified when I launch new videos, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I launch a new video. Peace out.